Every journey begins with a step. It's all in the realm of possibility. So here's a question. Why not me?
Why not me?
Feel better. We call these breakthroughs, and you will absolutely have a breakthrough moment yourself. There's never a dull moment.
You have all the nutrients. Your body's basically saying, I'm a young buck, I'm a young buckette.
Today we are talking with FermÍn Navár.
In my line of work, I'm enabling the body to heal itself.
The renowned formulator of natural skin, hair, and fragrance products.
Healthy skin is your first line of defense.
When we set out to create an all-natural skin product that utilizes the science of cell regeneration, we literally spoke to dozens of scientists, formulators, doctors, and all fingers seem to point back to this gentleman right here.
Let's face it, the approach that you all are doing is so cutting edge. I can only applaud you.
All right, here we go.
Let it rock and roll.
FermÍn, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
Appreciate it, Brent. Thank you for having me on.
It's a pleasure. You know, when we first spoke with you, one of the first things that you told us was how some of the ancient healing practices that you had studied from the indigenous traditions of like the Navajo and the Native American cultures, they're now actually being confirmed and advanced by the latest scientific discoveries. Can you elaborate on that?
Their concept of beauty says that in order for something to be beautiful, you have to be in harmony with the environment around you. I have a brand called Navajo Skincare. And so that is what caused me to go back and speak with a number of people within the Navajo community and really understand, their concept of beauty, their concept of nature. How do they look at plants that are native to the Navajo Nation, sage, lavender, amongst other things, and what roles do they play? How do they use those components? And so I began to ask a lot of questions of them that allowed me to then go back into the cosmetic world and say, what ingredients can I find that adhere to that cultural element?
Our viewers would love to know how you developed such a passion for these formulations and the science of skincare.
In my line of work, I don't really look at it as work. I'm doing what I enjoy, but I get to work on designing and creating things by becoming an expert on how to create and how to craft natural skincare, natural fragrances, natural hair care. That's pretty rewarding.
We're talking about the skin. The skin has 7 layers. What's the most unique challenge of developing a natural skincare line that can actually traverse its way through those layers of skin?
I'm going to turn around on you a little bit in that I think the approach that that you all are doing with renovovita is really so cutting edge that I can only applaud you for doing so, because you're truly doing the inside out. You started from a level that the nicotinamide mononucleotide, you are actually at the most basic of cellular function. So from that standpoint, you are revitalizing the fundamental engine components of the cells. Now let's look at our nutrition. What happens when we consume a food item? The first thing it does, it breaks it down to its nutrients. And what happens to those nutrients? They go in priority to certain organs. Your brain gets first dibs. Your vital internal organs get second dibs. If there's anything left over, then your largest organ, your skin, gets that. Today's food source is not as rich in the vital nutrients. And so what's left over for your skin is really lacking. There's a lot that is not there. Now, bringing back that NAD component that you all are engaged in, a lot of those components that you would otherwise need to get from food, you can supply those via topical. And that's what essentially we have done with Brigand. Olive oil, almond oil, evening primrose. All of those are nutrients that are absorbed topically. So now your skin is getting first dibs on nutrition. NAD It's basically revitalizing that internal engine of the cell to start working more like it's a youthful cell, not an older cell or an old cell.
So a lot of people think a skincare line is really about vanity. It's about looks. It's about looking better, which I think is why it's mostly women, or has typically been up to this point. But it's really about protecting your health more so than looking better, isn't it?
We're in the midst of a pandemic. One of the things that you have learned is if you have healthy skin, there is nothing more important than looking at it as your first line of defense. Keep it clean, keep it moisturized, keep it healthy, because that is what will protect you first and foremost from picking up viruses and bacteria and all those things, especially in something like today's environment.
The product that's a result of our collaboration with FermÍn is called Virgin Youth Activation Serum. I use it. I live in the desert. I was skeptical, to be honest with you, FermÍn, because I'm a dude, and you know this. I'm a guy.
Yeah.
I don't need to put skin. I got to wash my face before I go to bed. But I gotta say, when my bottle gets low, I panic a little bit. It creates results that are really visible, and it happens really, really fast. I mean, for me, you almost can't believe your eyes. As a matter of fact, some of these before and after photos that we are receiving, but I absolutely love it. How is it so powerful in renewing the skin?
We have absolutely kick-ass ingredients. We have loaded this thing up with incredible antioxidants. I don't want to describe it as looking, more attractive, more beautiful, more handsome. I'd rather look at it, there you go. But I'd rather look at it as how to actually look healthier.
What I'm getting here from this conversation, as you were mentioning earlier about our other product Within, it really does work synergistically with Virgin. We're focusing on the inside out approach. You're focusing with Virgin, the outside in approach. If you're looking healthier, then you start to feel healthier. And that subconsciously boosts your immune system. I mean, I'm being told, wow, you're looking really good. Like, you're looking younger. And I don't know if that's true or not. I wouldn't say that about myself, but I'm hearing people say that to me. So I'm thinking, okay, the only thing I'm doing differently is using Virgin Youth Activation Serum. How is it taking care of my wrinkles?
Your cells are functioning better. We're topically providing more nutrients. And we're just enabling your body to do what it wants to do, which is correct itself. We're just encouraging it.
Are we making the cells younger with this?
We're making them think they're younger. They're acting like they're younger, because I got all the stuff that I used to have 20 years ago, via nutrition, the supplements that you're providing. Your body's basically saying, hey, I kind of got what I need to start acting like I'm a young buck, or I'm a young buckette.
I have a lot of conversations with men and women who are in their 20s, and they seem to be very interested and somewhat concerned about taking care of their skin and their health right now. Is starting this regimen in your 20s too early?
Nope. If you start taking care of your skin, then you're not going to grow to look old like mom and dad at our age. Because let's face it, none of us really thought of taking care of our skin up until really in the last probably 2 decades that became a little bit more in vogue.
So we've been focusing a lot during this conversation about the face. However, we've noticed that people aren't just using this on their face. They're using this on their neck. They're using this on their chest, on their hands. How is it that it works so well in these other areas? Because some of these before and after pictures of some of our clients that are using our products, the results are shocking. And how does it work so well there? Is it the same thing?
It's still the same thing. You're still dealing with the one organ called the skin. It's not structurally any different in your face than it is anywhere else in your body.
Scars. Let's talk about this. Ed Asiana, one of my business partners here with renovovita, he had a surgery on his nose. He actually had some skin cancer removed. And strangely enough, when he was in the doctor's office, he ran into a friend of his who was having almost the identical operation and almost the identical spot on his face. When you look at Ed, and I mean, it was a bad scar. You see the before pictures and you're like, oh my gosh, man. But his recovery was substantially better than his friends. And we think that the only difference was the fact that Ed was using virgin youth activation serum on scars. So I'm assuming this is safe for scars and probably pretty good for them as well.
There's one ingredient we haven't really spoken to yet, and the reason Ed saw those results, a stem cell growth serum component in there. In the case of Ed, fresh scar, you have something to really, really boost the emolliency. You have all the nutrients, and you have the topical petri dish that we created for him to, and his cells to say, let's let it rock and roll. It's gonna.
The body is absolutely amazing. I would like to, you've mentioned a few of these ingredients, and there are a ton of them in virgin. I want to go through a handful. I'll just read them off and just give me a quick explanation of their benefits and what they do. Almond oil.
Fatty acids, nutrients.
Synonian trace minerals.
All of those essential little micronutrients that are now depleted from the soils. This actually is mined out of Utah. It's about 2,000 feet down that they go in and harvest these trace minerals.
How about shea butter?
It's what kind of gives you that soft feel when you apply it.
Olive fruit oil.
It's like almond, very rich in essential fatty acid profiles.
The yellow melon extract.
That actually is the antioxidant. That's one of the most powerful antioxidants around.
Marula oil.
It's in there for nutritional aspect, but it's because of the omegas that it contributes.
Lipo wheat.
Sun damage.
All right. So we get feedback from a lot of our customers, and they're occasionally sending in questions. And here's one question we tend to get a lot. How long will it be before I begin to see results from virgin?
I would say most people should expect to see something within 10 to 14 days.
Here's another question. I was wondering if I can use a light moisturizer over or under virgin.
You don't need it. We've engineered this so that it feeds your cells. Let's not just put a common moisturizer on top of it, and it's just literally sitting on your skin.
Someone else said, I noticed it diminishes fine lines and wrinkles. Will they come back?
You stop using it? Yes, they will. This is not a Band-Aid that once you take it off, it's done. No, you have to continue to use it.
Someone told me it's good to use an exfoliant with virgin. Would you recommend that?
Absolutely. I would recommend you not apply such a good product on dead skin. Clean it off, and then apply it onto the good cells.
It's incredible to realize how vitally important our skin is for so many other reasons than appearance. I mean, it's our first line of defense. It's the largest organ of the body. And FermÍn, I just got to say thank you so much for your wisdom, your knowledge. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. And thank you for assisting us in developing such an amazing product with virgin youth activation serum.
The fact that you guys have chosen truly a cutting edge approach. It's been a fun experience, and I think you have something incredible there.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. And folks, thank you for taking the time to be with us today. And listen, we want you to live a life where you both stay strong and live long. But regardless of how you choose to do it, if you're going to do it with passion and go all in. I'm Brent Payne. Thank you again for joining us, and we will see you next time.